everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the wholesome anime Polar Bears Cafe.
And this is another one that Rascal has really wanted to see for so long.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that she recommended this because this anime follows the lives of cafe owner Polar Bear and the slice of life adventures between him and his crew and his customers, both animal and human alike.
Yes, and before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and notification updates on future podcasts and pause videos.
You had to say crew because they were his crew.
Yes.
And we thank you so much for joining us and supporting us. We really appreciate you so much. And want to say quickly that if you want us to check out your channel, put the name of it in the comments below. Better yet, add a link. We'll give it a check. And then we'll follow you, of course.
Yes, absolutely. So, for this one, this is another anime that actually took us quite a while to finish because we were watching tons of other things at the same time. And we found this when we were first actually onto Crunchyroll. And we were actually looking through some things to add. And we saw that, and I was like, okay, I love the title. We need to add it. I don't care if this. We'll see what it's about later. I love the title. Let's just add it. And then we finally watched it, and I had a feeling it was just going to be a really fun little show, and it was.
And it is. And I have to say, if you're picturing in your head a cute little tiny polar bear, no. It's a normal size, gruffly polar bear.
Yes.
So don't be picturing something that's chibi and cute.
Right.
Because he isn't.
Right.
But he is cute in his behavior.
Yes. And all of the animals are realistically drawn, realistically sized, and majority of them work at a zoo. Sometimes that's their job, or they have their own business. And yes, there are humans in here, but it's like We Bare Bears, a regular show where the walking, talking animals are completely normal with the humans. There's nothing weird about it.
What I really like is that Rascal really got into this show, and she actually got books on polar bears and different animals that appeared in here. So we learned a lot about the animals in real life as well. And then the anime was even more special because they really stuck to what the actual qualities and characteristics and where the animals actually are in the real world for the anime, which is brilliant.
Right. And then for the little group that they pretty much stick with, besides Polar Bear himself, who runs the cafe, you have Panda, who's just a lazy panda, just no other way to put it. You have Penguin, or Pengi-san!
That's my line. You're supposed to say.
And then you have Mr. Llama, and you have the waitress, Miss Sasako.
And Grizzly.
And Grizzly.
Don't forget Grizzly.
Of course, can't forget making him wake up all the time.
And Panda Family.
Yes. Oh, and you have Mr. Han who works at the zoo, and Mr. Full-Time Panda, and there's like a whole
and you have
line
the
of
one
them.
who's in love with Panda. What's his name again?
Rin, they call him Rin Rin.
Yeah, and you have Rin Rin.
Gosh,
and
oh my goodness.
in a moment.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
But this was really so much fun to watch, and it had to be great to watch when it actually aired.
Yes.
So there's 52 episodes, so you got one a week, and that had to be one of the best years for watching anime if you were watching in Japan, because this really is a fun series.
Yes.
And Slice of Life definitely describes it. You don't have any magic, you don't have any fantasy or anything like that. It's just really so slice of life, but done in a brilliant way that makes it fresh and new and exciting and enjoyable. And you will get so much joy not only from watching this show, but you should have seen sometime during this podcast the intro.
Yes.
And the song is so much fun, and it's just so upbeat that you sit and you watch the intro every single time until they stupidly change it later in the series.
Twice, yeah.
But the words are wonderful. You sing it in Japanese. The images are fun. It's got this wonderful, ethereal, dreamy quality to it. It is one of the best intros ever.
Yes. And what you like about it is that there's 52 episodes. No, I'm sorry, 50 episodes all together.
51.
51? Okay. 51 episodes.
I said 52. Sorry, guys.
Okay. 51 episodes all together. And you can watch practically one a day and literally finish it in 1 year. If you really like to take your time and watch it like that. And they have their...
Well, she means one a week and finish in a year.
Yeah, you know what I mean. No, you know what I mean. It's a weird math there. They have their standard episodes, having their festival episode, their Valentine's episode, the Christmas, Halloween, New Year's. And they have all the little standard episodes they have in there. Plus, they have ones that are unique to the show itself. Some focus on people at the cafe. Some focus on Panda at his job. Some are about polar bear and grizzly. Some are about other animals that aren't even in the cafe, and it's like a bunch of carnivores, but they don't eat anybody.
Right.
And it's funny how, no matter if they're human or animal, they all have their own little quirks and personalities like they're human.
I think what I also liked about this is you really aren't expecting character growth.
Yeah.
You're expecting to just have fun and watch it and be joyful. But you get character growth in Polar Bear.
Mm-hmm.
You get character growth in Panda.
Yes.
You don't get any in Grizz because he's just already he's already together.
Right.
Everyone else gets on his nerves.
Right.
You get character growth in Pinky-san.
Nani Panda-kun.
So you didn't expect that, but you do. And in some of the humans, you also get it, like in Miss
Misasako.
Sasuke, you get it in her. Rin actually gets some character growth.
Yes.
You're really surprised that this happens. Mr. Honda, there's no hope for.
Unfortunately.
Mr. Honda, who looks like a panda.
Right?
But no, there's no hope for him. But in other characters, you get growth you didn't expect in this laid-back, slice-of-life, joyful anime.
Yes.
And I keep saying because every single episode is like that. There isn't one episode you watch that you go, oh, this doesn't fit in with the feel of this show.
Right.
Every single one fits in. Every single one is joyful. Every single one is fun. And none of them are boring.
No, that's definitely true. It doesn't matter if they focus on the animals or the humans or a combination of both. All of them make it really unique to this little world they built. And it's so unique that we now realize we've seen copycats. And the biggest one of all that we realized was
We Bear Bear.
Yes, because we saw Polar Bear runs the cafe, Panda is the little otaku kind bear, and then okay, well, I'm missing the grizzly, and then Polar Bear's friend was the grizzly, and they've had episodes where it's just Polar Bear, Grizzly Bear, Panda Bear having little adventures in the city, and all I could think was like, this is where We Bear Bears came from.
Absolutely, there's no doubt because it's at least 10 years old.
Yeah, it's had its 10th anniversary.
That the creator of We Bear Bears didn't watch this and become inspired.
Yes.
It's absolutely impossible that he didn't, because otherwise it's copyright infringement.
Right.
So he definitely was inspired by that show.
Yes.
And so many people I know haven't heard of it. So many people have never seen it, and that is a travesty in itself.
Yes.
Because this is just one of those shows like Pokemon.
Yes.
Where you wish it had gone on longer. You wish they had told more stories. You know there could have been just year after year.
Yes.
More. But it seems like they wanted to end it and have a conclusion.
Yes.
And
it's like the manga had the same thing.
Right.
So, yes, you are right. And I could have seen that going on for a very long time, or for years even. But it looks like the manga had an end, so they tried to have a kind of sort of ending with the anime. Unless it's still going on and we don't know it, like with some other mangas we heard about.
If you're listening and you know the answer to that, let us know in the comments below, please.
Yes. And there are lots of surprises in here, especially how the characters act. As you said, character growth. You get invested in their little adventures and their dialogue with each other. Like, a couple of the best things in there would be, there's a trio of penguins that want to sell penguin cars to spread awareness about the different types of penguin species they have, but no one wants to buy them because it's boring. So they keep trying to, they have business meetings in the cafe on how to get more people to buy them, and a lot of them kind of go nowhere. And then they come up with one idea that actually was brilliant, and they end up doing a Schickinger, they call it Penguinger.
Yes.
It's a TV show, or Schickinger show with them as the Power Rangers, and it actually took off, and it worked, and they became famous for it. I finally sold the cars.
And it was so brilliant. We have to share this with you. When we saw it immediately, we texted Playmaker.
Yes.
And to let him know this was in there. And as soon as he saw it, he knew what series it was from, the 3-member team. He knew everything.
Yes.
Like, he's our resident expert on Power Rangers, and he was even excited, but he just explained everything, and it made it even more special.
Yes. And that was one of the best parts of the show. The second would be Panda Mama.
Yes.
And Mama Penguin. And they love this boy band of porcupines called Anariyashi. And Penguin said, "What the hell is that?" And they were actually loving this boy band, and there was nothing wrong with it or seemed out of place. They really were genuinely fans of this J-pop porcupine band.
And it was brilliant. It was brilliantly done. You heard the music, and the music was really good.
Yeah.
I love when you watch these shows and they have these bands and they really put effort into making them sound authentic and real and like something you actually listen to.
Right.
And not like the Disney formula where everything sounds the same, except for Star versus the Forces of Evil with Love Sentence.
Right.
That was the most brilliant one they've ever done.
Yes.
But it was really done so well that, yeah, you'd actually would listen to this.
Yeah.
You could see why they would be excited.
Right.
I want to mention quickly that we're going to get a little further in that in this universe, humans and animals do date.
Yes, it's not seen as weird. It's like, it's weird if it comes up all of a sudden, but it's not out of the ordinary because they talk about instances where they'll have, the animals will have animal partners or they'll have human partners and vice versa. So it's just, it doesn't happen a lot, but it does.
Yes. So we mentioned that because within here, one of the main characters, Panda, we talked about. Panda, she said, he's the otaku in here. And he's kind of lazy. He's been reared with his mom, his sister, 2 little twin sisters, and the dad.
And the grandfather, yeah.
The grandfather, right. But he's more feminine.
Yeah.
And he has his purse and he does everything. And he is very gentle and very laid back, and he wants to be taken care of, and they do call him he. And it's so funny because you don't think there's going to be growth, but he has growth at different times with his mom, with Polar Bear, and you find out not only does he really consider these people friends, you can tell he actually loves them.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 important episodes, like one where the full-time panda he was friends with moves away.
Yes.
And he's so sad, and you never see him act like this. It is one of the most riveting episodes, and you feel so bad for him. It's still a fun episode, but you actually have sympathy for him, and you see that he's grown, and he does have feelings, and he does care. And then at the end of the series, well, before I get there, the whole time Rin Rin is in love with Panda.
Right, and it's really obvious.
And the entire show, he keeps doing things to try to win favor with him and show him how much he loves him, as he does. And then the last episode, it is made apparent without saying it that now he and Rin Rin are a couple. They're picnicking with the family together. You didn't think it was going to happen because Panda kept saying he couldn't stand him and he hated him. Well, he ends up with him.
Right, which is the anime trope, so it just went along with it.
Right. And then you also have, and I know Rascal wants to tell you this, so I'm going to wait and let her tell you about the llama and Miss Sasuke.
Yes. Okay, so they set up this thing like halfway through that Mr. Honda is in love with Miss Sasuke. Yeah, and he's in love with Miss Sasuke, and the whole time of the rest of the series, he's trying to win like her favor, attention and stuff, and nothing really is working. It doesn't really go much anywhere. She does see him as a friend, and he is kind, and she treats him well, but it's shown like, oh, how do you feel about him? And they ask, it's like, I know he drinks a lot of coffee, and it was like, that's it. And there really wasn't much he had shown himself for her.
Mandarin oranges for a gift, so that kind of tells you what she really thinks of him.
Right, and it's like, well, okay, it's a start. And then they have this one episode, like at least 10 episodes or less before the end. And she's there early, and Mr. Llama is there early because Polar Bear and Panda were out handing out flyers and things for the cafe for an event. And she's thinking about going to her, there's supposed to be a middle school reunion. She's contemplating if she wants to go or not. And she talks about where she grew up before she came to this part of the city. And then Llama actually knows a lot what she's talking about because it turns out they were both raised in the same city and just didn't know it. and they talk about different things, like the parks they went to, the windmills, the things they would do, and like, oh my gosh, I did that. I remember that. I heard about that. And at first, it seems like it's one of those, oh, it's a small world type coincidences, and it's really well done because this does happen. But then it gets closer to the end, and then there's an episode where it comes back and they're trying to find a time capsule for Mr. Llama, and to me, and I didn't say anything at first until the episode was over, and Ma had pointed it out, was that it looked like Miss Sasako had fallen for Mr. Llama.
Absolutely.
And it was like, wait a minute, like, why does this look like they're into each other for a minute?
I said because they are.
And then they had another episode where they were going to find a time capsule he buried, and they went by themselves while they tried to get Pan off a bus. He got stuck on a bus. You'll find out when you see it. And then they just kind of start chatting, reminiscing and stuff. And the whole time, it's like they just had alone time. And it's just like, oh gosh, did she just fall for the llama?
And later on, there are lines spoken between them where it's obvious that, yes, this is what has happened.
Like poor Mr. Honda.
Yeah. You knew that wasn't going to happen. But lucky for Mr. Honda, if he can ever get his head out of his butt, Honda's younger sister, the oldest one, is in love with Mr. Honda.
Yes.
And then one of the characters asked why, and before he said, I said, because he looks like a panda. And she said, because he looks like a panda. He's like, that's it. Started laughing hysterically. So I said, he looks like a panda. That's why.
Yes.
So he has a chance with her because it looks like no human woman wants Mr. Honda. Sorry.
Just for the sake of the anime.
But it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my two favorites, as far as a relationship, are Polar Bear and Grizzly. They've been friends since they were little cubs. Mm-hmm. And Grizzly is the American bear. He rides a motorcycle.
Yes.
He rides
and he's super manly.
Yes, and he's cool, and everyone loves him, and he's gruff, and he's loyal. And then you got Polar Bear, who is kind of spacey at times, it seems.
Yeah,
like.
especially with his
puns.
Loyal.
He's a good friend.
Tells bad puns, but you learn some Japanese along the way.
And he runs the cafe, and you can tell their friendship is solid. It's kind of like in Skate with Joe and
Cherry Blossom.
Thank you. You can tell their friendship's going to withstand anything. It's like that. And it's only friendship. And you really like that no matter what one does to the other, no matter how crazy one gets with the other, they always support each other and their friends. And it's one of the best friendships in there. You know, there's a big friendship amongst all of them, and then you got the little secondary friendships, yes. And that's one of the best ones.
Yes.
Then you got Pingy-san.
Nani Panda-kun.
And he is supposed to be a ladies' man. That's how he sees himself with the penguins.
Yes.
And he's got 7 of them that he's trying to woo. Yes, I said woo at one time. And they want him to tell them apart. So it starts off where they all have a different color ribbon each, and he memorized the ribbons.
Yes.
And then I think it was Llama opened his big mouth, and then they changed the ribbons and said, well, tell us now, and he was screwed. And then the second time, Llama tried to help him and made it worse still.
Yeah.
But Penguin has a nice growth, character growth
right.
here. And then you learn that he and Panda are actually friends.
Right. As crazy as they have the repertoire at the end of every episode and the preview, Panda says some weird things to him. It's like, why would you say that to him? And it's absolutely hilarious, but they do care about each other.
Yes.
And then Polar Bear, I think what's funny is that you said that with Penguin, and then Polar Bear is the real ladies' man because
yes.
whenever they go to the beach or a gathering, all the girls swim around Polar Bear and he plays with them, and it's like, oh my gosh.
And he's a ladies' man that's secure enough on Halloween to dress in whatever outfit he wants, male, female, whatever,
right.
He wears them. And it is hilarious because in the episode he's constantly changing costumes.
Right.
And you can't imagine what he's going to do next. We have talked so long on this, we have to shut it down or we'll keep going for another 20 minutes.
Right.
But we really want you to check this out. It's available right now exclusively on Crunchyroll.
Yes.
As we mentioned, it's 50 or 51 episodes.
Yes.
But you will not be disappointed when you watch this. You're going to thank us and come back and let us know how much you loved it in the comments below.
Yes.
If you've already seen it, whether it was when it aired or on Crunchyroll like we watched it, let us know what you think in the comments. Do you wish there had been another season? Have you read the manga? Did this make a difference for you in watching furry types of anime?
Right.
For me.
Right. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And thank you so much again for your support. Feel free to share this on your community tab with family and friends. We really do appreciate all that you do for us, listening and sharing and just being part of our Paws Animation / Rascal family.
Yes. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainments.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace. Pingy-san, Pingy-san.
Nani Panda-kun.